Ray Binkowski with Britt Callahan in Fitworkz Hybrid Training Gym in DeKalb, Illinois, talking Transformation Tuesday, and we're actually going to have a lot of great information later today right here below this post, including some free stuff to help you out, accomplish some of the stuff we're talking about with Britt today. Britt, give us your background.
Well, I played sports, basketball in particular, my entire life, probably since I was in 3rd grade, all the way through college. And then after that, after sports, always found fun in lifting.
And so, former college athlete,
Yeah.
and you'd done a bikini contest a couple times.
Yes.
And kind of had that bikini body, hence the title of this video. And this last go round, you competed a week and a half ago or thereabout, and you did something called figure, which is more muscle and a little bit leaner. Let's talk a little bit about, like, where did diet start? Like, what was initial eating like for you?
Transitioning into figure, the most important was a lot of protein. So, I mean, for me, we never took carbs out of the situation. We always made sure we had enough protein. Did a really good job with supplementation too to support the diet and make sure I'm utilizing fat in here instead of muscle.
And what was, we started out, we always start off with eat by color.
Right.
So initially it was eat by color, but now how hard was it? And you guys are going to see her before and after some of the photos below when we post them later today. How hard was it for you to eat that way?
I say it wasn't very difficult. I mean, you eat a lot more than you think. I never felt like my calories were very restricted. I never felt like I was hungry for the entire day. I mean, I was still drinking plenty of water. We never water depleted or anything like that. And, again, I was just never hungry, and I got a lot of food and really good calories and vegetables, protein, and, a lot of good fruit in there too. So I never felt like I was starving myself. And
when we look at, like, the bathing suit body, at the time this is being recorded, we're a month away from summer. A lot of people would like to be more comfortable in what they wear at the beach, the swimming pool, the cottage, or whatever. When we look at just the, talk bikini before we transition to figure, how compatible was that with life? Living that lifestyle, were you able to balance work and...
Yeah, I'd say very compatible. And, no matter where you go, if you're traveling for work or if you're going on vacation with friends and family, if you know how to get your good calories and or protein, I think you can find what you need anywhere. So you can go somewhere and be prepared and cook your food, or, you can go to any gas station and still get beef jerky and still get a piece of fruit and still get string cheese or, nuts or anything like that. So if you know what you're doing and you know what your body needs, you can get what you need almost anywhere.
So I'm pretty much back to eat by color, and there's actually a section on how to go to gas stations, mini marts, convenience stores, and be successful, and that's where not being overly restrictive makes life possible while having that bathing suit body. And then we transition. So bikini contest looks good in a bathing suit, 2-piece bathing suit, some level of muscle, some level of leanness. Figure is kind of a step up. We want a little bit more muscle, tiny waist, more definition. And when we look at eat by color, we just really started to kind of roll the calories up and down by adjusting what most people today would refer to as macros, which would be correct, although that's not our focus. We like to make it eat by color. And that was still, you were still able to balance that. Talk about balancing that with work. What was it any different?
I'd say not really. I was really prepared. So a lot of it is, you're going to have, people around that may not be eating the same thing as you or the same thing in the fridge. So if I was prepared by getting everything I needed on Sunday for the week, then, I had everything that I needed. So I think a lot of it is being really, really prepared and just, your time management and knowing what you need for the day. There were times where if I didn't have the protein I needed, I'm out in St. Charles, I could go through a drive-thru for kebabs and get beef skewers, weigh that out exactly what I needed, and there's my protein source.
And so it was still doable. What about exercise? How much time were you spending in the gym? Initially, how many hours?
I'd say I shouldn't be in here more than an hour and 15 or an hour and 30. And that would include stretching and foam rolling at the end. So if I could come in here after work and hit it hard for an hour and do what I need to do without getting caught talking every now and then you can be in and out in about an hour and 15 while still taking care of your body. So, anything more than that, then you might be gassing yourself a little too much.
And initially, there was only when we started the programming, probably 4 days a week.
Yeah, 4 days a week, just about.
So, and again, when we look at that bathing suit body, 3 or 4 days a week, we've repeatedly seen this here in our club with our clients online. 3 or 4 days a week will make that bathing suit body possible, which Britt had already had from prior bikini contests and her athletic background. But then we gradually added a little bit more exercise to transition into figure, but you still weren't living in the gym, were you?
No. I could still find a healthy life balance. I mean, I could still be with my friends over the weekend, co-workers. I could go to events there. You know, I could go to social events and things like that that I needed to. But knowing that I could get in the gym for 4 days a week, I had weekends, or you could still take a day off and rest and get it done.
And then as we added more training, we did actually, and not always, but believe it or not, a lot of our clients, if you want to look great in a bathing suit for summer, they almost never need cardio. In the past, Britt had done bikini contests with 0 cardio, and this time we did add a little bit, but really only as that figure contest approach. And how many days a week were we doing it at the most?
I'd say at the most, it was 2 or 3 days a week at the most.
And you guys are going to see our pictures a little bit later this morning below this post. If you're checking us out on YouTube, just go to eatbycolor.com and click on blogs, and you'll see the actual photos of what Britt looked like at contest time a week before the day of. But again, in those photos, they're talking about a 2 or 3 day a week amount of cardio, and it made that physique possible. And again, it highlights the importance of food.
Yes.
The importance of being able to maintain your food and your nutrition, Eat by Color, when you're at work, or when you have to go to a drive-through window, or when your schedule's interrupted and you got to go to the gas station and get jerky.
Right.
But again, food's king. 4 hours a week will get you the bikini body, and that's probably at the high end, and really you need little to no cardio.
Right.
What did you find the easiest?
Let's see. Probably the easiest was the food. I mean, I'm a person where I can kind of eat the same routine every day and not have a problem with it. And if I didn't have what I needed, I found it really easy to go get an alternative. And then also, I think coming into the gym was easy. I was excited about the goals that Ray and I set. So coming in here and, crushing a workout was, I don't want to say it was easy, but it was easy to kind of come in and do that. I was excited about what we had planned.
And was there, and I know that there was, but what was it like? How did you know you crushed one workout versus the next? How did you know you were better?
I felt really good. So I knew toward the very end, I was getting stronger in the second and third month out of the 4 than I was in the very beginning. And that comes a lot with the food that we were able to do. So a lot of competitors walk around and they're miserable, they're tired, they're carb depleted. And there were days where I was tired, but I felt really good all the way to the very last workout. And keeping track of my numbers and if I'm beating this one or not and my weights, I was just very on top of what I was doing the day before and how could I get better today. And
that's probably, if there's 3 big things that would be of use to those of you watching this online or wherever it may be. One, you actually need to have a realistic plan, and that needs to make nutrition that you can stick with a priority. 2, you probably don't need lots of cardio. And 3, you actually have to have a plan. You have to have a plan in terms of both food, and you actually have to have a plan when you come into the gym. And that means, not just writing your workout down, but writing down, using what we teach as a double progressive, writing down why you're better this workout versus last. And that's probably no different than when you're playing a college sport, practicing to be better from one practice, one game, one tournament to the next.
It's exactly it. It all correlates, whether it's in basketball, and if the game before we didn't have good defense, then the next day, guess what we're working on? Defense. And that translates into the gym as well. If I have a certain leg workout I wasn't super happy with, the next week when I come in, I know I'm going to do a lot better and try to crush it.
And because you recorded it, you know if you did better or not.
Exactly. I mean, I'll even take notes on whether to go up in weight, whether to go down, how many reps I hit, how many I want to get next time. Before I even start a set, I'll want to do 12 reps and I'll write it down and I'll try to get at least 12.
One last thing and then we'll close out. We did something somewhat non-conventional. We've had other clients and we've had other trainers comment, why would somebody be doing this? How often did you train back?
actually 4 days out of the week, if we're looking at pull-ups, if that's what
Yes.
you mean. Yeah, so I did 50 pull-ups before every single workout, 4 days out of the week for 4 months. So that's a lot of math. I'll have you guys do that. But we made it a priority. So with a specific goal that I had in mind, you know, with my back and shoulders, we had a vision we wanted to do, and I asked Ray specifically, how are we going to do this? How do we make them, you know, better for this class? And he said, well, we're going to make them a priority, and we did that, and it worked.
So you trained, and some people get hung up on this. You trained back, you did pull-ups, and yes, she can actually do body weight pull-ups today, but even if it was leg day, you did pull-ups.
Always.
If it was chest day, you did pull-ups. If it was
Yes.
arm day, you did pull-ups.
Yes.
So every workout, Britt did pull-ups, and the reason is, and it's not like, you know, don't get caught up and you're going to overtrain, it's too much, blah, 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 blah. The reason was we needed her shoulders to get wider, and by the way, if you're female watching this, that's why they put shoulder pads in women's clothes, because women typically don't have wider shoulders. Now, we're not saying you're going to get broad shouldered like a male would, but it's going to give you that appearance of being, well, one, you're going to look toned and defined. The other thing was we needed to widen your back.
Yes, exactly. And it was funny because I would come in here and you get, you know, kind of a routine. You talk to people, say, hey, what's going on? And they say, what are you training today? And I'm like, legs and pull-ups.
Yeah.
And it was always back pull-ups, chest pull-ups, so every day.
So every workout started with pull-ups. So there's a reason that we did that. And actually, if you look at the photos from the day of her event, look at some of the photos we're going to post, you're going to see the impact that had on her physique. That's it for today. You can find more at eatbycolor.com. This video and all of our videos brought to you by Eat by Color. Britt, thanks for joining us. Check out this post later today. There'll be some free information as well as some photos of what Britt looked like right before the contest and the day of, as well as some tips and take-home things for you to achieve the same thing.